Like it took me 3 divorces and 10 or 15 years later to realize I might have had something to do with this. But still, if you're married and you have friends and things, and it breaks up, you lose all those friends, you lose all those things, you have to start again. There's a cost. And it affects the quality or social quality of your Venus. Okay, so to the moon or to Mercury are inner battles. Mental pattern, how you're thinking about what you want, what you're going to get, what you want, how you're living it, whether you have it or not. These are inner things and inner storms. They affect your imagination, your style, so many things. And all of these things are going to interfere with your basic, simple, confident ego. That's the sun. Or the loving heart, that's the spiritual side of the sun. Oh, is life about getting, or giving, or being, or appreciating, or sharing? So it's a universe. This is Venus. So when we start seeing Venus to the sun, when Venus conjuncts the sun, the power of the sun, the confidence of the sun is linked up to the beauty of Venus. I'm so beautiful. I'm so charming. Aren't I lovely? It tends to be charming. Why work for something when I can just charm for it? So it's very pleasant. Usually a person to be cultured. Then that person will tend to make choices with confidence or be very strong or confident about the things that they want. So their whole ego and their identity is tied up to getting what they want, to being satisfied, to having nice things, to looking good, to being smooth and cool. That's the sun Venus. To other people may appear spoiled or vain because the sun's empowering the Venus more. If I want something, it's important. If I don't get it, it's going to be important that I'm getting it. So sun Venus usually will go out of their way to try and make their choices happen and build up their choices, but they would be doubly strong or extra hurt if they were rejected for their choices. So it's considered basically a good aspect, a charming aspect, a giving aspect. It depends which sign it's in, but the sign conjunct Venus, your values, your choices are tied up to your confidence in your heart. I know what I want. I got to have this. I like this. I don't want to have anything with that. I don't like that group. I don't like these things, but I want these things. And the confidence comes in getting what you want. If you're angry and you're nasty, it's going to be hard to get what you want. If you're polite and courteous and talented and you're using those things, well, you get appreciation and attention. So so Venus cannot be opposed to the sun. Mercury and Venus are always closely around the sun. So how the Mercury and Venus and how they're affected by the moon, how those three come together and then reinforce the sun or take away from the sun. So whether you're rich or poor, that sun Venus is going to be charming and people will give you attention, applause. Some people might be envious, some people might be jealous, but you have a kind of arrogant sun together with your vanity Venus. You'll always know what you like and have your opinion of what you like. I like this, I don't like that. What songs, what things, very clearly there. But the arrogance of I have to have, when Venus gets negative, becomes lust. The lust gets magnified with the sun. I gotta have this. The desire gets magnified with the sun, becomes very purposeful. The envy becomes really magnified and empowered. So when it's positive, it's super sweet. When it's negative, it's super repulsive. So we're always trying to be appreciated. We're always trying to get the next little thing, or nice little thing, or the next app, or the next program, or the nicer car, or this or that. It can be entertainment, it can be out in the outer world, it can be inner things. So the healing work is to make sure you're qualifying, you're building up quality of the sign that Venus is in. So if Venus is in a certain sign, there's a certain attribute, a certain quality. You're trying to make them better and get things in that way and refine them there. Then you're refining, you're improving the quality of your desires and the quality of your likes and dislikes. Huge improvement. If you're taking your sun or any other planet that's making the aspect to the Venus, you're still have to build up that. So if it's your sun, you're building up your confidence. It means that you're both in the same place. You're building up your confidence. You want to be noticed. You want to be the creative one, radiant one, and you're going to radiate to get what you want. Or around your, like, as soon as you try and define this, it skips away. But when you get used to that being the way Venus is, it allows you just to look at someone's chart and so you see the puzzles around their Venus. You may not be able to say, but you see, you can't observe, you can't know from the chart. You could see that someone might be excessively desirous or want too much or be too envious. You can sort of see there's a tendency for that, but you have to observe to see if the person is dealing with the gross side of it or has refined it a little bit. Makes a very great difference in how you would deal with someone. And it makes a big difference on what's going to improve one's self-worth. Al-Anon, why does someone stay with alcoholics, and why was so like self-worth is a really puzzling thing, whether it's social or individual. All equality, the simple little things of they like greater, they think greater, rising, setting, above, below. Those simple factors really embellish and open up the doorway to seeing many of the options of how Venus works. And those are the healing qualities you work with. The stress is just normal and going to be there. So if you have the moon Venus stress, you're always going to have to cut back a little bit because you don't want to get overweight. But it's going to be hard to be skinny. All right, so just you have good tastes and the sweet tooth. How do you not have the second dessert? Mercury Venus, you got the sweet talk. It could be very good for a poet or a writer or a designer, or even a composer, being able to use the mind together with what's beautiful. These are really good qualities. But I'm trying to talk about experiential day-to-day ones, about relationships, about things, how we try. Venus is so involved in everything we do, what we like or don't like. And as soon as anything on any level doesn't like us, it starts getting our attention, we want to get away from it, or we want to solve it. And that takes attention away from other things. So, so up to the sun, it's your inner world where you're coming in to find your confidence and to find your self-worth. But really, in the end, you're trying to just find your heart and soul and be at peace with it. And it's not at peace when you just, give me this, give me that, when you're just wanting things. It's a big spiritual puzzle. But now, when you start to put Venus to the outer planets, Mars is how you put your energy out. So Venus is seducing Mercury to get what it wants, to make a planet what it wants, and they're both telling Mars what it's supposed to do to go get it. So you can do almost anything, but Venus is pushing you to go get what you want. Do it. Go do this. If you do this, you can get this. If you do this, you can. You have to go try. You have to go for it. Of course, some people have strong Mars and they just go for it. Some people have weak Mars and they can't go for it. And then, oh boy, you can't get what you want. Can't do it. So Venus and Mars, they're said to be the sexual planets of timing. But when even the conjunction is said to be really passionate and desiring, lustful to get and strong to give. So that's really hormonally powerful. People that have lots of strong sexual experiences and they can give and they can take. That's the positive side of it. The negative side is whenever, and with the squares and oppositions, and even at times with the conjunctions, when you want something, instantly you're going to push for it. I want this, okay? So you're going to instantly drive. So Venus is instantly riding the back of Mars. And if you don't get what you want, you're going to start complaining. So Mars and Venus, that's the aspect that creates most of the cuss words. People saying F this, F that, damn, like they're saying all the bad words. Why? Because they're not content. If they were content, they'd be smiling, they'd be happy, they wouldn't be swearing. It's a vulgar aspect of culture. It's a grosser aspect of Venus. So Mars comes in, it makes you want to go, it speeds up what you want. It forces what you want. It adds adrenaline to what you want. I got to get it. I'm going to go for it. So that can make someone very rowdy, very coarse. It can create early sexual experiences, not necessarily satisfying ones, or maybe, but like it forces the desires, the emotional desires, what I want, I got to go for it. I'm going to fight for it. And when you start fighting for the things you want, it can create, I guess, poor timing would be a good thing. Well, it would be a way of expressing Mars, Venus. You're forcing things. You're pushing more. Come on, let's go to bed, dear. I don't feel like going to bed. No, come on. Let's go. That's forcing the emotional issue. So, with always having the energy and trying to force things, it can spoil the timing or the refinement of just taking your time and sharing the energy to get there. So this is the timing around sex is a really difficult thing. You get timing off. One person's up, one person's not. All kinds of storms happen because of this. It's a big haunting puzzle for a person. Whether it's premature ejections or whether it's not quite being content. Things is wanting things going for fast and then it's not really satisfied. Oh boy, discontent and anger about what you want, pushing for what you want and the anger when you don't get it. It's a very rowdy aspect of the Mars-Venus. And it requires usually some difficult experiences, physical experiences, to develop a value for patience. So when someone has these aggressive qualities, something like martial art or yoga or Tai Chi would balance them off. That's the Mars side of it. But the Venus is what's going to satisfy you, what's going to content you. And they're always pushing for it. And you can't always get what you want. Sometimes you do without, and it builds up a refinement. So Mars pushes the issue, builds up temperament, makes one angry, makes one forceful. Look, you'll see it. Like see people who have the Mars-Venus aspects, they're going to be generally highly a little oversexed or over pushing to get what they want. And not to just be sex. We want business. I got to get this. I got to go for this. I got to buy this. It can be so many different things, but it's not passive around it. And if it doesn't get it, it's going to be angry about not having it. It could be, I've got to have a better car than the neighbor. The neighbor bought a new car. I got to get a new car. It's competitive. So you're bringing the Mars energy and you're seeing it's in a stressful aspect to what's satisfaction, to contentment. So it becomes harder to get content. Yeah, I mean, chopping wood, using energy to chop wood probably saved many marriages in the 200 years ago. Just gotta go chop the damn wood, bam, 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 bam. You burn off the steam and you're a little more contented, a little easier to relate to.